Let us pray. Higher power, thank you for this time together. Thank you for this team, for all their effort that they put in. Thank you for the viewers, those who leave comments, those that pass this on and share it with other people. We know we're being heard. We're so grateful that your word is going out into the world. Amen. My name is Beci R, and I'm glad to be here. So far, this is amazing. Perfect. The principles in action and the meditation. Wow, wonderful. Thank you, ladies. Today's spiritual principle is self-care. Now, I wrote this, and I've been working on it, and as I'm sitting here listening, things start to change, and I'm listening to Linda, and she's talking about the universe lines up, right? The universe has really been lining up for me with self-care because it's really easy for me to get caught in the doing of things, getting things done, making sure this person gets that way. My husband and I are raising 5 grandkids, so it's like everybody, there's always something that needs to be done. And grandma always seems to go last. But I have to tell you that recently the universe is lining up to change that. And this self-care came in a very good time. So you're on the journey with me here, okay, because we always seem to be in click. So listen carefully. Maybe something will come out that I didn't even write down, right? Self-care is, in fact, very personal. We could look it up in the dictionary, right, and see what it defines it. But the dictionary doesn't define what self-care means for me and what it means for Judy and Linda and Patricia and everybody else, right? It can't say what it means to you because self-care is very personal. What might be self-care for me may not be self-care for someone else. You know, I like to crochet. It's very relaxing for me. It kind of gives me time to go in. Other people might go, well, that's kind of weird. I'd rather go hiking. I would like to go hiking too, you know? So self-care, because we're all different, it's very individual. So we can talk in general terms, and there's not a dictionary big enough to hold what self-care means to everybody, right? And this talk could take months to talk about if we wanted to define it all down. So some of these terms are going to be a little bit general. We're going to get through it. So what works for us is self-care. Like Linda was talking about. You can label me all you want, but my label is mine to give. And self-care looks this way for me, right? So where does self-care work? Does it work when you're just at the house? Can you do self-care right there? Are there different types of self-care? Of course there are, right? There's taking a bath, or there's going in the backyard, and what we did yesterday was archery. That's self-care. That's taking the time out to just go and be in the moment, right? Self-care is probably one of the hardest things that we can define. And if, that is a big if, we really know what it means to ourselves. Now, I was in recovery, and this is going way back, so I'm digging out old memories here. I was in there recovery probably for 4 or 5 years before my sponsor said, do you know how to have fun? And I said, what is fun? I mean, I had done things. I had joined bowling leagues. I had joined softball teams. I had gone hiking with people. But I did this because it was the codependent part of me. It was the addict part of me. I was a part of something else because I didn't want to be left out. I didn't know what fun is, and she made me write a list of fun things. And do you know, it took me a long time to write that list. I didn't know what fun was. I didn't know that I didn't know how to go and do something just for the joy of doing it, right? It's that oxygen mask. Put mine on first, right? That stuff made me angry back then. And then I started to realize, wait a minute, I had to make lists. And she also, after I made the list, she made me practice it. You know, at the time I hated her. And, you know, she was doing her job, her volunteer work. But she actually said, okay, now you know what fun is. Now you got to try to practice it. And wow, that was an eye-opener for me. So I really didn't have any idea of what I wanted, what I thought was fun, what I wanted to do. It reminds me of this movie, and I don't know if you've seen it, a long time ago, The Runaway Bride, was with Julia Roberts. And she had almost gotten to the marriage 4 or 5 times with different people. And this scene, her and Richard Gere are in there, and she's now falling in love with him. He's a reporter. And she's now falling in love with him. And she had just, he's there to do a report on her, keep running away from the altar. And he gets really angry with her because he's like, every time she's with somebody new, the things she likes changes. Okay, so she's with one guy and her eggs are one way. They're poached. She's with another guy, they're eggs Benedict. She's with another guy, they're scrambled. They're sitting in a restaurant and she orders, they went to order her breakfast and she said, I'll just have the way he is having him. And he was like, what do you want? And she goes, well, no, I want what you want. I mean, this whole thing ensued about this metamorphosis. She changed because she was going with what the other person wanted. That was me. That was what did I need to do in this moment, and that would make them happy, right? So I didn't know. I changed to make the other person happy because I didn't know or believe that I had the significance to say what I needed and what I wanted. And we may not always see or have the same kind of self-care, yet we do know for the most part that we are not taking care of ourselves in times that we need to. And this is hard. So we know the obvious ones: halt. Never be too hungry, too angry, too lonely, or too tired. That's kind of a given. If you've been in the program more than 6 weeks, you've probably heard that at least one time. Slippery slopes. We know to stay off slippery slopes. Things that, going hanging out with our old drug friends and we say, oh, no, I'm strong enough. I'm not using drugs. I'm not drinking. I can go and hang out with them. That's a slippery slope, right? So, and one of the things that I had to give up saying was, I'm my own worst enemy. My sponsor caught me saying it way too much because I was reinforcing that I was my own worst enemy. I am not that person anymore, okay? I wanted to stay in integrity. And I was worried. I mean, when we will worry, we're out of self-care when we're worrying about what other people think of us. What there are their labels. I'm not taking care of myself if I'm worried about someone else talking about me or someone else labeling me, right? And a big one, switching editions. And I know everything's really intense right now. And I completely understand because I live in the same world that you live in, okay? The thing is, we can switch addictions so easily that it becomes more easy and more easy every single day. We can go from too much drinking to too much drugs to too much sex to too much relationships to too much gambling. And then we've got the new ones, right? To too much screen time, to too much TV, all these things are still, we're just switching them because, smoking, one of the ones, I smoked for years. I hung on to that one. And you see that a lot in our rooms, right? People will give up the drinking, but the smoking is like, hey, wait, you can't take that from me. That's what I've got. Mine is emotional eating. I eat when I'm emotional. I know that. I'm trying hard to work with it because I want to, like Linda said, make myself better, right? So white chocolate and Hallmark type scenarios have their places. I'm not saying don't go and get on your telephone and surf for 10 minutes. Set a timer, Think about what you could do. If you had 30 minutes that you can surf and flip through Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat, or you could take that 30 minutes and go and meditate or go on a hike, which is taking care of ourselves. What is your taking care of yourselves? Is it going cooking a nice cake for your family? I have family members that love to bake. That's where their joy is at. So that is taking care of themselves when they love to bake. True self-care is different each and every day. Today it might be I want to take a bath and soak. Tomorrow I might want to stretch with yoga. So this is why it's so hard to define. We do know, though, when we're not in it. And sometimes maybe not at that moment, but it gets triggered. We come to know when we're not staying in it and when we're not taking care of ourselves. Also, self-grace. Like I said, don't be our own worst enemy, right? Take a few deep breaths and realize that, okay, I'm going to be better. I'll be better tomorrow. There are days that we're going to propel into this head first, getting the lists done, getting all the meetings done, and then there's going to be days we just want to sit on the couch. That's okay. Do that. Consider what's next in life, right? Consider celebrations, consider all this struggle that's going on. And sometimes a day holds all of these things in one day. Sometimes one phone call can change your whole day. One text message from somebody, especially right now. So knowing when we have to have the time to take care of ourselves is very important. We're really super sensitive right now, but we can slowly build the emotional and mental capacity that we need to make decisions in the moment right then that, okay, now I need to do something for me. I need to take care of myself. It's a practice, okay? And there's a lot of things we can do to practice it. Everybody's different. If you don't have your list already made, if your sponsor hasn't asked you what is fun and what feeds you, here's a few things, a few practices. Breathing. I don't know if you've ever tried this. This really helps me, especially when I can't sleep. There's this one particular breath that's called 4-7-8. You breathe in for 4, you hold for 7, and you breathe out for 8. I always pause for 4 on the other end too, because I like the rhythm of it. But it actually resets our nervous system and helps us calm down. Okay, there are apps. You guys, there's apps everywhere. There's apps to tell you to get off the phone you've been on too long. There's apps like Calm and Headspace that are free meditation apps. You can have it send a note to you and say, hey, it's time to sit down and take care of yourself, meditate, or go outside and play with Frisbee with the dog. We do that a lot around our house too, you know? It's just that reset, okay? Another one is moving your body. I'm not an exerciser. Oh gosh, I wish I was. I mean, I can start on a plan and do really well for a while, and I just give up. I can, however, line dance. That's moving my body. That is fun for me. That is self-care. So make it a joyful movement. I'm trying to take the word exercise out of my vocabulary and put in joyful movement instead. It's joyful. Because I think dancing in general is fun. I love to turn up the music and the kids and I just dance around, right? So here's a big one for me. Practice intuitive eating. Eat when you're hungry. And if I'm emotional, drink water. Wait 15 minutes and see if I'm still hungry. Because more than likely I'm not going to be. It wasn't my intuition that was telling me to go eat. It was my emotions that was telling me, okay? Develop a faith. Now, faith is a hard word, especially, for me growing up. Faith brought me a lot of pain, and the way I was raised, it was used more as a threat. Okay, I don't know if yours was that way. So faith is kind of hard. We kind of changed that to spirituality now because we're all spiritual. But whatever you call it, whatever you label it, my label is faith. Build it. Find a group to belong to. I know we can't meet in person, but we can meet online. We can talk to people over the phone. Practice it. Read a book. There's a lot of books online now that you can read. There's a place called Goodreads. Oftentimes I get ones that are free to download, especially if you have like Amazon Prime. I have that, and I can download books for free. So participate in an activity that you love, anything. Where's your list, right? Find 30 minutes that we're not surfing the net or binge watching the 5th episode of Crown. Get up and do something fun. Also, do something difficult. Do something that might challenge the way you think of things. Build something that's different. Find a design. There's all kinds of do-it-yourself stuff on Pinterest and YouTube, and there's video. Everybody's making videos. Everybody's making videos now. I swear, I'm going to start a video channel because it just looks fun. It just looks fun. And of course, chocolate and Hallmark movies. Because sometimes it's truly, a perfect moment for it. Sometimes it is. Okay. A lot of stuff they talk about online now is hacks, life hacks. Okay, this is the new term there were some hacks that I found that said, but they kind of align to everything else. Cook a fun, yummy meal just for yourself, right? Get some exercise, have a night out with some friends. That's a little difficult right now because, the night out, but you could still find something, maybe two people. There are people in your household, maybe they want to do the same things too. Revisit some of your childhood hobbies. I find that if we're interested in, most of the people I know, if they're really interested in something when they're young, they're usually really interested in something when they're older too. They just have put it aside. I'm finding that's more common nowadays. Meditate with the Calm app like we talked about. Take a nap. You can take a nap. Who says we can't take a nap? We're tired. Take a nap. It's okay. Now, if you're napping every single day, all day long, we need to be concerned, right? So do some deep house cleaning. This one's fun, right? When you finally get those closets organized, it's like a breath of fresh air. You go into the closet, you can find what you're looking for. It's like, this is amazing. Here it is. Or have a hammock moment in the park. Take a blanket, lay down, let the sun shine all over you. Go to the beach. We're here in San Diego, right? Write down your thoughts and feelings. Journaling's great. I've done all different kinds of journaling. When I started first in recovery, most of my journaling was about releasing all the pain. And then when I got to a point where I was writing about things that were motivating me to be different, I took all those journals. I went to my friend's house out in the country, and we had a drumming burning party, and I burnt the journals and let the wind take the words away. Because I never wanted anybody to find the pain. I wanted to release it back into the world so that it wouldn't, so that the world could have it back. And I didn't have to carry it, and the generations behind me didn't have to carry it. So it was really fun. You can do things like that. Watch a lighthearted TV show. There are people that's actually been diagnosed with things that were supposed to kill them, and they watched comedies, and they got better. It really, you can look it up. They're true facts. Change up your environment. A lot of times if you stay in the same room or the same house all the time, it feels like we're captive, especially right now, right? And you can change the environment very simply just by going outside or going for a walk in the neighborhood. So these are the life hacks. Take a bubble bath. I know even guys take bubble baths. Don't play, I know. So listen to a motivational podcast or TED Talk. Those are fun and they're free. It doesn't cost you to do that, but it can be such an uplifting thing to do. Of course, like we said, get outside in nature and pamper yourself when you can. Foot massage, hand massage. I do those to myself, my feet especially. I love, give myself a foot massage. Find a spot by the window and breathe in some fresh air. Maybe just open the windows. Let that air come in. And listen to music and dance. I love music. I love Jody's music especially. He's amazing. And movement again, right? So in the end, self-care is defined by each of us individually. And it's defined with one swift statement. Here we are. It's the wisdom to know the difference. We have to know what works for us. And if you know what works for you, and if you can't remember in the moment, keep a list in your pocket, okay? And then when you find yourself on that brink where you're like, whoop, I'm going to need a minute here. Pull out your list and figure out something really quick that you can do to help take care of yourself, right? And I'm going to end with this from Jean Bolin. When you recover or discover something that nourishes your soul and brings you joy, care enough about yourself to make room for it in your life. Let's pray. Higher power, we thank you for this moment here together. We thank you for the people that are listening, and we thank you for these words, and we know that we are worthy. We are worth the time of self-care. We deserve it, and we can nourish ourselves with love. And so it is.
Take a breath. Unplug. Unwind. Self-care. What a beautiful, beautiful concept. Come with me into our world of self-care. It's not selfish. We are love. We are loved. We are loving to all around us. And sometimes we forget that we too need to be loved. Please breathe in. Relax. Be aware of your surroundings, but don't focus on them. Take in another breath. Feel the air circulating within, cleansing, moving, shaking up those cobwebs. Breathe out love. Breathe out anything that doesn't serve us. Breathe in a deeper, reaching breath. Listen to the music. Let it envelop you. This is your time to focus on you. We all have jobs to do. Taking care of ourselves, taking care of children, taking care of family, of neighbors, praying for our nation. We can do this in a loving, embracing way. We need to energize ourselves first. Reach down to the higher power within. Embrace that higher power. Get the energy from our higher power. Spirit is always with us, supplying us with everything we need to be the perfect person we are, to be the perfect conduit to the love that surrounds us all, to the love that we share. Gratefully, we embrace this spirit. We know we are the epitome of love. We are spirit. We are here for each other. And in order to be here for others, it's okay. It's necessary for us to be here for each other, to be here for ourselves. Center yourself in this moment. Take an inventory of the perfect person you are. Breathe in love, calmness, joy, and peace. Breathe out love, calmness, joy, and peace. We are deserving of the care that we give ourselves because we are deserving of the care that we give others. We benefit from this love that we share. Take in another deep breath. Feel it energizing. Feel it awakening. Feel it bringing you back to the present here and now with renewed vitality, with renewed love, with renewed conviction that we are perfect and we share our perfection. Stretch your arms, wiggle your toes, wiggle your hands. Take in a deep breath and appreciate the love and energy inside. Smile. We are a manifestation of the perfect person we are meant to be. Be blessed. Be joyful. You are perfection. And you are loved. And so it is. Namaste.
Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.